Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Your today's topic is about communication. So we are going to start our class with the introduction of communication.
मैम आपकी आवाज बहुत स्लो आ रही है.
Is it fine now?
Yes.
First, we need to define what is communication. So, communication is basically a two-way process. Uh, if you are going to convey something to other person, so there must be a person who is receiving that. So that's why we say that it is a two-way communication. We can't say that always whenever you are going to send any message, there won't be anyone. Even if you are communicating with yourself, so who is on the other side? You. So which is like we say just like self talk. So in your self talk, if on the one hand you are communicating with yourself, on the other hand you yourself will be there. So that's a process which we use. Why we use it? We use it for conveying some information, and we use some means for this communication that are verbal or non-verbal means of communication. We need to know about what basically the word communication is, from where it is derived, and what was the meaning of it. Communication is a word that is derived from a word that is communis, which is a Latin word, and its common meaning is mutuality. Like its commonality or common, being something common that is mutual. Two persons or more than two-person, they share something with each other, so that's why we call it as in common. In general, if we refer communication, so we say that it's a two-way process of exchanging some information, any ideas, beliefs, your feelings, even the attitudes that you show to people. So you communicate through your attitudes to others, and you use as I already told you, verbal or non-verbal means, and communication can happen between two people or within a group as well. According to Webster's dictionary says that communication is a process in which exchange of information happens between individuals, but they use a system. Uh, that system is based on symbols or signs of behavior. So you communicate by using your gestures, posture, by smiling to others, or by showing them something in the form of symbols. So that is a part of the communication. And Robert Anderson says that communication is interchange of thought, opinions, or information. And this can happen when you talk to someone, when you write something, or you use any signs. This Random House dictionary says the same words as Robert Anderson says, that imparting or interchange. Imparting is also exchange of information. But question arises, why communication is important? What is its effect? So how effective it is, what kind of role it plays in the lives of people? If we talk about the very first one, effectiveness, that is ability to solve problems. If I ask you that you have some conflicts, or you had a fight with your friends, and you both are sitting quiet, nobody is talking to each other, so how it will be resolved? Similarly, as COVID hit uh, the planet, so if everybody was just sitting and thinking about it, okay, now what we should do, COVID is there, so there is nothing to do about it, and nobody is going to do research on it, nobody is going to find solution on for this, so how this social problem was solved? This is not only about solving your personal problems, but also the problems that that we face in the daily life, from society, from our even in our community. So communication is basically uh, important for it to resolve issues. When you communicate to the person, you talk to them, and you find a solution for it, how to resolve it. Similarly is productivity. Productiveness, yes, if I share my ideas with you, you share your ideas with the class or with me. So I'm sure every time, whenever the person is going to hear this, they will understand there is something new that is acquired. There is something new that is added to the information. I'm not saying everything is new to everyone, but there must be something new to someone. Whenever we share ideas, we communicate, we talk about it, we write something to someone. So what happens, this means there is productivity. Not something new is emerged, something new is produced over them. Level of stress, communication. I think I'm sure everybody knows, when we say that share something with or share your problems with each other, it will reduce your stress level, because sharing is like caring. So when you share your things with others, if you're having ongoing problems or something that you want, or even if you are stuck at somewhere and you are under stress, maybe by talking to someone or exchanging that information to someone, or sharing that information with someone, it gives you relief from that stress. Relationship with others, it strengthens your relationship with others, either with your family or the friends. Until you are not communicating, you are not showing what you have, what feelings you have towards your family, how caring you are for them. So I don't think so they will realize it. So words are important to express, to show that how much important people are to you. Ability to meet your goals and achieve your dreams. Your actions are said always tell you that what abilities you are having. So actions need something to show, either through writing, either through spoken or doing. Whenever you are doing, you're using your hands, your gestures, your postures. So that means they will take you at a point where you want to reach. So communication plays role in that. You are working in any organization, and you are not interacting with your seniors, you are not learning something from them. So how you will achieve you, how will you reach, how you will reach at that point? Nobody can even. So that's why communication is the key for the success. Level of satisfaction with your life, as much as you are going to be good communicator. And communicator is not always speaker. Communicator can be a listener as well, or responder as well. You are responding back to someone when you are communicating to someone. So that gives you uh, a satisfaction and a strength, that how you are keeping your thing at a pace, and how you are taking it, how you are moving on, and that gives you satisfaction in your life. So meaning of communication then, we derive that exchange of ideas between two people. So that's exchange is a transfer of information from a sender to a receiver. But when this communication happens, it should be in the right context, like in a right situation, the right thing is said. um, I'm sure you all are aware about it, कि जब हमें ये कहा जाता है कि आपको सही वक्त पे सही बात करनी चाहिए. So that is related to communication. You have to see that where you should talk about what thing. आप कभी भी किसी ऐसी जगह पे वो बात नहीं कर सकते जहां उसको समझने वाले लोग ही नहीं है. द वे आई एम कम्युनिकेटिंग टू यू, आई एम डिलीवरिंग दिस लेक्चर, so that means I'm communicating to you. If I deliver the same lecture to a kindergarten, um, who is at the school or who is in the playgroup or in even in the KG or nursery or the prep, even one or two, so that will be hard for them to absorb the words or the language and to the idea that I'm presenting to them. So for this, that is why it is that the communication should be accordingly. So that's a process of initiating something, transmitting, and then receiving information. After that, there is a feedback of that information as well. So why we keep in mind that we need to choose the words in the language according to the context? Because our goal is to transfer the information. We will not achieve our goal until we are not going to rightly transfer that information. So information will be productive, goal oriented, when it is said at the right time, at the right moment. Is it clear till here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this next is the process of communication. When we talk about process of communication, it is basically cycle of communication. So cycle starts at one point and it moves to the other point. So one point that when it start, it is the referent point. Referent is basically initiator of a thing. For example, sender is going to encode that information, that message, and through a channel you are going to send that message to receiver. When receiver is going to receive that, they interpret or decode that message according to their thought, according to their understanding, and then will respond back to sender about the message, and that is in the form of feedback. And there are environmental factors around this also have playing their role. Like sender has another environment, receiver has another environment. All the factors are involved in this cycle. I will explain you how. So now we are going to define elements of communication. Our first element of communication is referent. As I told you, referent is basically motivator. So referent, why it is motivator? Because it motivates you to send a message. How? For example, you are you are in university, and you, in university you just felt that uh, your university is quite clean today. You have sent this message to your friend that it seems like today university is very clean. You become sender, but what is the referent there? Your environment. Your environment is just a stimulus or a motivator who motivated you to send this message, and the person who received that message becomes the receiver. So this information is when shared, it is in the form of message, objects, sounds, sights, time schedule, ideas, perception, sensation, emotion, order even. सो दिस ऑल इनिशिएट कम्युनिकेशन. ये सब चीजें जो है ना, आपके ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं, आपकी साउंड्स हैं, साइट्स हैं, टाइम स्केच, ये हर चीज एज इन रेफरेंट काम करती है, जो आपके मैसेज को या आपकी कम्युनिकेशन को स्टार्ट करती है. बेसिकली इट स्टार्ट्स योर कम्युनिकेशन. There is an example that is given on your slide. If you just see, a nurse citing a patient with difficulty in breathing may serve as a referent to the nurse, promoting her to initiate communication with the patient. अब एक नर्स जो सिर्फ उस पेशेंट को देख रही है, जिस जिस उसका काम है उसकी लाइक her job is to see the patient who is having difficulty in breathing. So she will allocate a nurse job that you have to talk to this patient who is not feeling well. Here the first nurse becomes referent क्योंकि उसने ये एक स्टिमुलस दिया दूसरी नर्स को कि वो कम्युनिकेशन स्टार्ट करे. अब उस नर्स को जिस फीलिंग से द फर्स्ट वन she felt that this person is not feeling well, so she is promoting the other nurse to initiate communication, वो start करे. So उस एक starter में जो first nurse थी वो referent बनी and the second one is as an sender of the message. Is it clear, or if you have question related to it, because ये थोड़ा complicated है.
Yes, ma'am. थोड़ा समझाइए.
Then second element of communication is sender. Sender, the person who sends the message or who encodes the message. When the person encodes the message, use appropriate channel of communication. And a sender is basically a source who just not only generate that message but also deliver it to the receiver when it receives some like a point where he needs to start or initiate that conversation. So when you feel that yes, now you need to communicate to someone, that vibe always comes from your referent. Sender will not send message until referent is not going to let him to take that initiation message. Then obviously the most important point is that message, that content, that piece of information we convey to someone. So we convey that piece of information in the form of words or writing, our gesture or body postures, or our symbols. So these type of languages we use always when we need to convey our message. Now when we send a message, in that sending there are some beliefs, personal beliefs or personal factors which are always involved in a message. Either the message is sent by the sender who is coding it, or the receiver who is decoding it. Whoever the person is, their personal factors are always involved in that communication. How it is involved, let me to give you a very general example. It happened with me in UNT. I was communicating to one of my class, and one of the student, he asked me about something. I felt that he had shown me his offended attitude in the class. I removed him from the class. Later on, one of his fellow, he came to me and he said to me, ma'am, actually you misunderstood that student. This is their way of talk. Their way of talk means the tone and pitch of voice is actually always automatically raised when they communicate to people. It doesn't mean they are offended or they are insulting you, but actually that's the problem of the language and their accent or maybe tone. So that's why you imagine that he is aggressive at the moment. Now you can see here, one person was I who was a receiver and one was the class fellow who was another receiver. We both had different perceptions. How? Because I belonged to a culture where raising voice or tone or louder pitch is considered as in being aggressive. But in their culture, that is actually a manly attitude, and they were Balochi students basically, and I'm sure you know about it. So that was a different perception of them, because he knew that is from his area, and how a casual or a normal talk is, and how a offended one is. But I thought that that was an offended one, not a normal talk. Clear? So these are the factors, environmental factors that are, or the personal factors that are involved. So what I will take as a message maybe is not the way you will take. My perception will be different about the same message, and your will be the different. Clear? Then is channel, through which channel we need to send the message. Channel is basically the medium which we use to convey the message. So that there are many channels, and some of them are like seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. Just wait a minute. Let me to hear Azan, and then I will be back to you.
ओए बास गैड खोल मार दूंगा बाहर।
Okay. So we were talking about channels. Now, our senses takes part in this communication as a channel. Along with it, for these channels, there are some other factors that are involved, and we need to consider that which factor, which channel is suitable for us when we have certain factors like availability of channel, purpose of the channel, why we are using that specific channel to convey our message, suitability, is it a suitable channel to convey the message, the same message that you wanted to send or not. You have to change the channel. Types of receiver whom you are sending will be able to understand that or not. For example, if two friends are communicating to each other and they are sitting in a setting where they can communicate with each other by smiling to each other, by giving a smile, and uh, they can understand the message, that how the friend is sending that message through using this smile. But if the same smile is passed to a person who is stranger to you, so that person won't be able to understand your message. So you have to keep in mind which type of receiver you have at the moment to send that message. Types of message, always you can't send the same message uh, in the same channel. So you have to need appropriate channel according to the type of message. Preferences of the sender and communication skills of the sender. You know, when you are receiving a message, what you feel, which part of uh, that message that you can convey through that specific channel. If you have picked the wrong channel for that communication, so that means your receiver will be failed to decode that message. Third, you have to keep in mind the cost the other person is going to bear it. For example, if your channel is not just your senses, but you have used an electronic channel for the communication, maybe your receiver is not going to get that message because he is unable to bear the cost of that channel. So along with the channel, you have to keep in mind the factors that are involved in that communication. Now, classification of the channels. We can communicate uh, with each other by classifying these channels. Basically, we have four types of channel. The fourth one is the combination of the first three. For the very first one channel is visual channel. We visual channel, from visual, you have got an idea that it must be related to something that we can view. So viewing something is you can see facial expression of people, you can use body language, and it is observed. Always postures and gestures can be observed. You can see the picture, you can read the words, you can read electronic mails or the mass media, what it contains, you always read. So this all is involved with your visuality. Then auditory channel. Auditory, from auditory you can get it that it is about words that are spoken, that are verbal. So words that are spoken, they can be sounds as well, telephonic conversation as well. You are not viewing their people, but you are just listening them their words. So it is also like mobile communication. Then delivery audio content. Audio content can be delivered not only through radio but also voice messages that you send even on WhatsApp as well. Then the third one is tactile channel. Tactile is basically related to the touch sensation, or therapeutic touch. Therapeutic touch is when you give someone treatment for a specific thing. Like if somebody is having pain in the mind, so what you will do, you use your hands to relax them. Similarly, is if somebody is feeling pain in body, so they go to a massage bar. So they always try to give them massage with the oils using the hands. So that is a part of therapeutic sensation. When it comes about touch sensation, it is like sometimes some people have a habit of tapping someone's shoulder or someone's hand when you want to sympathize with someone, or when you want to make them feel that don't be stressed, or you wanted to feel them relax, so you tap their hands or you tap their shoulders. So that's a touch sensation that is used in tactile channel. The fourth one is combined one, when you joined the first two, or the first second or third, or first or third, or second or third. So you make a combination of channel, that is a in a combined channel. Sometimes you are conversating to a person and you turn on the video, so on the one hand, when you are talking to someone, you are visualizing them as well. So that is a combination of. Maybe you are sitting with someone and you are talking to them, so when you're communicating in this way, you tap their hand. So in you are not only touching to them but also viewing them and speaking as well. So first three are combined in that communication. So this is how the channels are for communication. Till here, if there is any question, please ask.
No, ma'am, got it.
Everything is clear?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
गाइस मुझे कभी कभी ना थोड़ा वो होना शुरू हो जाता है कि पता नहीं आपको समझ आ भी रही है या नहीं है, जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ के हाँ नहीं आ रही है तो बस आप बोलते हैं कि हाँ जी आ रही है, नहीं कोई बात नहीं. If there will be any problem, ask me at any moment.
नो मैम हम बहुत समझदार हैं, हमें जल्दी समझ आ जाती है.
अच्छा,
बहुत इजी भी है.
ओके. एलिमेंट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन में जो आपका नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट है, दैट इज अबाउट रिसीवर. सो when we talk about a receiver, so you know that receiver is a decoder of that message, who is going to infer information from that message, who is going to interpret what is understood by that receiver. So that's why he is called as an decoder. It is also expected that your message must be understood by the decoder or by the interpreter or the receiver. At least he has that ability or skill to understand that message or to decode that message. And so for this reason, I told you earlier, you really need to keep in mind whom you are sending that message. So use that language accordingly, according to your receiver. Feedback is basically a return message that is always sent to the sender, because when you receive a message, you respond back, you give your view, your point of view on that message. So you, when you send it back to your receiver, that is a feedback. In feedback, we always say that it is important for us, like now I'm communicating to you guys, and when I'm communicating to you, I'm asking you that this is understood or not, and you are responding back to me, okay, it is understood. And now your job is to after receiving my message, to tell me that either it is difficult for you, or either there is a problem or not. So that is your feedback for this communication. And for this feedback, it is really important that your audience or the receiver has understood that message. If they are not going to understand your message, what you are communicating to them, for sure they won't be able to give you feedback. So for this feedback, we say that there is this process should be completed in a considerable way, because now the receiver has understood what you conveyed to him. As I told you earlier, that a successful communication is always a two-way process. It never happens that you sent a message to someone and it is not received by the other. It is always received by the others, and feedback is given to you back. Confounding elements. These are basically interpersonal, some elements which are not directly involved in your conversation, but indirectly they are involved. And these can be environmental factors as well. Interpersonal variables are involved in these confounding elements. When I'm communicating to you, my perception, my beliefs, my values, my background, my education is involved automatically in this conversation. It is not I'm willingly involving these things. These are involved automatically. So these type of elements which are indirectly involved in your communication, these are confounding elements. As I had already given you example of my student, that how I misunderstood him due to those factors which were cultural and social background factors, so due to which and emotional factors as well. So their uh, you know their language, their accent, that is different from us. So how it involved in it, how it changed the decoding process of message as well. So we need to keep in mind that the receiver's background, his or her personal arena, their environment, everything in communication. Next is, how do we communicate? Obviously, we need to know there are three major ways. One is spoken, and in spoken, we use verbal and paraverbal communication. The other one is non-verbal, and the third one is written. Factors that are involved is method, mass, and audience. How we communicate, what we communicate, and to whom we communicate. It is involved in it. Let's head towards the second phase of this lecture, that is types of communication. So types of communication are involved when we have to talk about when we have to categorize them. So how we categorize it? By means of delivery, by the purpose, by the level, and pattern. These four things are involved in communication, and due to these four things, we divide our communication into four types. Today, we will discuss the very first one, that is means of communication. Based on means of delivering the message, so our first mean is verbal communication. Verbal, sometimes students, they always consider that verbal is maybe only spoken. It is not actually spoken, it is involved written as well. Written is also involved in it. So either it is spoken or it is written, it comes under the category of verbal communication. In this communication, we use a lot of words, and these words are conveyed to the receiver. When these words are conveyed to the receiver, we always have some meaning behind those words. Now, in this factor, we have to keep in mind what elements we are using in this verbal communication. And the elements are language. For example, if the language I'm using with you is English, and some of you who are from a background that is Urdu or Turkish or Persian or any other, so they won't be able to understand what I'm talking about. The targeted receiver should be kept in mind, like with whom we are communicating. So what language is feasible for me and for them to understand my message. Similarly is for vocabulary. For example, if you are at graduate level and I'm going to talk to you in uh, language that is Shakespearean language, and I don't know if you are aware of it or not. Shakespearean language is purely from literature, and that is very difficult language. So if I'm going to pick that vocabulary and I'm going to deliver my lecture in that way, are you going to receive the message in the same way as I sent? No. So here my communication is going to be failed. Why? Because my message is understood only by me, not by you. Then denotative meaning. Denotative meaning, when we talk about these are literal meaning of the words. Literal meanings, we say that vocabulary words. If I say to you that what is the meaning of affordable, you know that which is in my capacity, that I can take something. So that is affordability. That is in the dictionary. That is a literal meaning. But when we talk about connotative meanings are very different. These are meanings which are changed according to the context, which only suits best according to the current situation. But if you are going to use them in some other situation, the meaning will be changed of the words. Let's give you example of it. If I have said, I have already told you the meaning of affordable in literal way. If I'm going to use it in my situation or in your situation, so maybe you are going to take it in a positive way. Okay, affordable, if something is affordable to me, that means I can buy it, and that is uh, that is reasonable for me. If I use this affordability in front of any person who is unable to buy that thing, so for that person, when I said to him, take this thing, this is affordable to you, so maybe the person is taking the meaning that it is cheaper in price. So how the meaning changed now, you see, in my in context, its meaning is reasonable price, with reasonable price. In some others context, it is cheap. So this is how meanings change according to the context, and there uh, we are not talk about always about dictionary meaning. This is connotative meaning, that is according to the situation, that fits or that suits best according to the situation. Pacing is about speed. At what speed you are talking, you are conveying the message. I don't know, you haven't gave me feedback about it, but if I am going to deliver this lecture in a very speed, a high speed, so maybe most of you won't be able to understand what I'm talking about. If I'm going to make it very slow, so I won't be able to finish your lecture on time, or your course on time. So it should be with that time at a medium level. So pace is important, but it depends. Maybe your receiver is quite quick receiver, so your speed can't affect them. Intonation is accent. We can if any one of you had IELTS, so you know that in a level of listening, we hear some very different accents, or in all levels there are different accents, so their pace is going to be changed at every level, and so the accent is some of the accent which are really hard to understand, so you know their intonation is changed, and if you're using an accent that is not understandable for the others, so your communication is going to be failed. Clarity and consciousness is the key in the communication. If you are not clear about your message, or आपने किसी को you have sent a message to someone where you have used words ambiguity in ambiguous way, so how the other person will understand what you have said to him? So when whatever you are telling to someone, clear it, clearly define your message. Don't send any words which are not clear to your receiver. Consciousness, be very choosy about your words or the language, what you should say or what not. Precise, be very brief about your message. You don't need to exaggerate the message. or elaborate. Where it requires, talk like that. Maybe you are talking to a stranger and you are talking in a very detailed way. Maybe that is not required. So the other person is just wanted to listen to the point thing. So be with that. Comprehensible communication should be there. If understanding is not possible in that communication to the for the receiver, so what's the purpose? Brevity is also shortness of the message, timing and relevance. When and where you have to say what you have to say. This should be uh, keep in mind while talking to the people. Don't talk irrelevant. Just talk what is required at the moment, or don't try to go beyond the topic. Subtypes of verbal communication are spoken communication, written, telecommunication, or electric. I'm sure you have idea about all the four. If till here, if there is any question, you can ask.
No, ma'am, no question.
Okay, this is the last one. I will finish with it here because I know I have taught you a lot. Second means of delivering the message is based on non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication means without words. You don't use words either in spoken or written. You eliminate these two. And then what is involved there? Your five senses, your body language is involved there. So your postures, your gestures, your movements, your facial expressions, your silence even is involved in this communication. Some of you may be going to be like offended on it, like why, how silence can be involved in non-verbal communication. So you know that if you are asking to me something that is not suitable or that is quite weird, so I will be quiet. It means it will give you an answer that I don't want to talk about it. So when you receive this message back from me that I don't want to talk about it, that is communication. So non-verbal communication is a more accurate way of communication because it actually gives the right way of uh, the message. What is the meaning behind it? Behind that message. So in non-verbal communication, there is touch, eye contact, facial expression, posture. Gait is basically your walk. कुछ लोग अपने चलने से ही बता देते हैं कि वो what kind of message they are conveying to you. Gestures, physical appearance, sound, and silence. So all these are part of non-verbal communication. In our body language, how much we involve whenever we communicate, 7% are their words, 39% is our voice, and 54% our body language is involved in any communication. So you can see how communication happens, how we are always communicating to people. That's all. If there is any question till here, you can ask.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let me to mark your attendance then. Abdul Ahad, Ahmed Yasin,
Present, ma'am.
Ehsan Ashraf,
Present, ma'am.
Ali Hassan,
Present, ma'am.
Amna Zaid,
Present, ma'am.
Anwarul Haq,
Present, ma'am.
Aqsa.
Present, ma'am.
Class before that this, I'm sorry, I just not had told you that about your introductory video. If girls are not comfortable to send it to boys, they can send it to me directly. Is it fine? And if they want to use hijab or they have a mask on their face, they can go ahead with it.
Miss, this is Nehal Malaika. You told me to collect the videos. Only 25 students sent their videos and I've sent it to you.
Okay, good, Nihal. Yeah, I have received your message on email. And Marul Haq?
Present,
Aqsa?
ma'am.
Okay.
Anwarul.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Aqsa?
Present, ma'am.
Asad? Awais Iqbal?
Present, ma'am.
Iman? Fahad?
Present, ma'am.
Fahil Sajjad?
Present, ma'am.
Ahmad Hussain?
Present, ma'am.
Manzila?
Present, ma'am.
Ishaq?
Present, ma'am.
Isra?
Present, ma'am.
Mahnoor? Mahnoor Raza?
Present, ma'am.
Maria? Muhammad Rasab?
Rasab, ma'am. Present.
Rasab, okay. Muhammad Wazir?
Yes, ma'am. Muhammad Wazir.
Muhammad Shahriyar?
Present, ma'am.
Muhammad Adil Khan? Muhammad Ahmed?
Yes, ma'am. Present, Mohammed Ahmed Nasir.
Okay. Muhammad Hamad?
Present, ma'am.
Muhammad Hamza?
Present, ma'am.
Muhammad Ibrahim?
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Muhammad Kubair?
Present.
Muhammad Yasin?
Present, ma'am.
Nahal Malaika is there. Okay. Saad Abu Bakr?
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Sadia Amin?
Present, ma'am.
Shujan Khalil?
Present.
Suleiman Asghar? Sayyid Danial Ali?
Present, ma'am.
Sayyid Fazal Raza? Taha Ali Khan?
Present, ma'am.
Umair?
Present.
Usman Nazir? Wajid Ali?
Present, ma'am.
Waleed Khalid? Zirbab?
Present, ma'am.
and Zishan?
Present, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Ji Hamad?
Ma'am, can we still send the video?
You can?
Can we still send the video?
Yeah, you can. That is okay.
मैम मेरी अटेंडेंस लगा दें ईमान अली
Okay. Waleed, why you have joined
Yes,
class
ma'am.
now?
मैम वो मेरा गलती से क्लास बंद हो गई थी। मैं मोबाइल पे था तो व्हाट्सएप क्लोज करने लगा था तो जूम क्लोज हो गया। मैं क्लास में ही था पहले से। थैंक यू।
इसलिए मैंने आपको वापस बुला लिया, वरना कभी ना बुलाती।
थैंक यू।
Okay, so all of you can send me your video and I will see it on weekend and I will give you feedback in next class about your communication skills. What you have to do for weekend, you have the topic that I have told you till where I will upload these slides on LMS. You need to read these slides, because in next class when you are going to come in the class, I will ask you few questions related to it. So be attentive about it. One more thing, maybe I have told you already that I will deduct your project or presentation marks, and I will add half of the marks into your class participation and discussion.
Okay, ma'am.
Good. Anything else? If you have any question, you can ask.
Ma'am, where we should send the video?
Okay, Hamad, आप send कर दे मुझे, कोई मसला नहीं, अभी कर.
Mail?
Email, yeah, email me where you have to. Okay, sorry, I thought you said I have to send the video. You have my email address, and you can send it to me through email.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, class. See you in the next class. Take care of yourself.